That's very strange for me to watch. As I've been doing this about 13 years, so a lot of these photos run the gambit of that time period, you know, like one of those, like 25 pounds heavier, one of those, and another one, several of them had me with bleached blonde hair, like I had 10 years ago. I lived in California, yeah. And it's kind of cool. Yes, and that last song was me singing with my wife, Gayla, in our band, Chin's Mojo. As a matter of fact, if you want a Chin's Mojo CD, I have them here. I have about 20 left. And I will sell them, well, probably have like a few minutes afterwards, you can come up and get one. They're $10 each. So, you know, rush the stage. Yeah, very cool. I don't know what to say. It's like watching my family's slideshow or something, you know? That you have to endure it.
Well, do you guys, I just have a quick demographic thing for you guys. How many are here from Southern California besides me? Like LA, down south? A few. Central California? Okay. And Northern? The majority, because, yeah. And how many people are here from outside the state, if there's anybody? Ooh, well, of course. Who here is are Reasonable Rangers? Miniskirt Army? And thank you all for coming. You're now all swinging sidekicks.
Woo! And we're having a swinging sidekicks dinner tonight at 6:30.
Yeah.
And the tickets have already been sold, but it's just in this restaurant here, so there's nothing to keep you from crashing it. So please crash it. I would love to have an army in there so that they didn't know what to do.
Basically, like I said, we got started in August. We've got several different pages. DeviantArt, Sunyon. So to tell us about
SONION. If you want to find me on DeviantArt, Sunyon. And if you want to find me on Facebook, Sunny Straight.
And how did that name? Tell me about how that name came about with the
Sunyon. The Sunyon. I still do. I draw comic books for a living too, and I first started drawing comics about 25 years ago. I moved to a town called Denton, Texas to major in theater at the University of North Texas. And, hello.
Sorry,
and,
my laptop.
When I was there was a guy drawing his own comic books, and it was called The Sex Gophers from Hell. It was about a rock band, and it was so funny and irreverent, and it was drawn like shit. So I drew him a cover of the book because I liked his book. And he looked at it and he goes, "Oh, dude, you need to draw it." What, the whole book? And he goes, "Yeah, you need to draw the book. I'll write it and you draw it." I said, "Okay." So I was just doing that for fun, and after about 30 pages of drawing comics, I fell in love with the medium. And I said, "This is what I want to do." And I dropped out of school and started focusing on comics. And about a year and a half later, I got my first published work. So Billy, he's the guy who drew his own comic book. He used to call me the Sunyon. And I liked that so much that I decided to call myself the Sunyon. And now, like, people will call me, "Hey, Sunyon," you know, or write on Facebook or whatever, and he really gets a kick out of that because he knows where it came from. That's how Sunyon came about.
If you guys have any questions about, like, the website for where to go to join the club, I've got a few flyers left, not very many left, but is anybody here interested in helping us run the group up in here in California? Okay. That's
a pretty good ratio, 1 out of 100. Yeah, let me do extra work.
It's mostly like representing at other local cons, letting people know, maybe organizing group dinners or gatherings or whatnot, even if Sunny's not able to come. And also, like, just spread the word about the club. Do you guys have any questions about the club itself?
Are there membership dues?
No.
Is there a website you can just throw out?
Yeah, the main group is on Yahoo, but unfortunately it hasn't been very active. Most of our stuff is on DeviantArt and Facebook.
What is it listed under DeviantArt?
Sunny-S-Sidekicks.
That's easy to remember. Sunny-S-Sidekicks.
It's on the flyer that you guys can pick up from me a little bit later.
Do you guys have any questions at all about the industry or anything? It doesn't have to necessarily be about Sidekicks, like I said. Yeah. How do you get insurance? You have to buy it yourself. Yeah, all your insurance comes out of your pocket. Yeah, most actors are contract labor, so we don't really get a chance to get benefits. Marry somebody with them. That's what you should do. Somebody with a real job. Any other questions about real jobs? Yes?
Is there a question about Alchemist Brotherhood?
Yeah.
Since I've watched all the way up to 39, I'm wondering when 40 through 64 is going to be out.
If I knew, I wouldn't be able to tell you. So, I can't tell you. Now you have to guess if I really know or not. Tonight. This comes out tonight. All the rest of them come out tonight. It's one big block that lasts for hours. Yeah.
What is your daughter going to be doing voice acting?
She thinks it's cool. Now she does. When she was younger, she wouldn't even tell her friends that I was on it, And then she started realizing that when she did tell friends that I was on Dragon Ball Z and Full Metal Alchemist, that people got really nuts around her, so she liked that. And recently I took her and my wife to a convention in Arizona. I went to Flagstaff, and then we went to Sedona, and she loved that. My agent was driving us around, to see different places, and she turned to me and she goes, "She's like your slave." And then she said, "I like that." It's like my slave. Yeah, my slave for 10%.
You got a question over here?
How hard is it being a voice actor? Like, is it hard to get into the industry, or?
It's harder now to get into the industry. When I started, there was no competition. It's funny because most of the cast from Dragon Ball Z all came from Denton, Texas. We all went to school at the same college. There was a lot, because Denton is kind of a very strange town in Texas. It's an artist colony, practically. There's two major universities. One of the best music schools in the country is the University of North Texas. So, it's much more difficult. I recommend anyone who wants to get into the industry today, get as much acting experience as you can, because most of your competition have been acting for like 10 years. When I started, I'd been acting for 16 years, but I'm one of the older people at Funimation. Yeah. Yes, you.
How is it like with your family? Do you still have time with your family with work?
Well, yeah, because even like when you have a major role, you're not talking more than 20 hours a week, so it's like half the time that you have to work on a real job. So yeah, if anything, my family, I have too much family time. And as a comic book artist, I spend a lot of time in my studio in the house, so they always know I'm like right in the next room.
How much time are you given to study the lines before you have to say them?
None. No, you get in the booth and you got a script in front of you, and then they click it to the next line. You read it as quick as you can and try to memorize it as quick as you can on the spot so that you can say the lines to the flaps on the screen. Yeah, it's not any time at all. Yeah.
Aside from the voices that you already do, what's one character that you wish you voiced?
People ask me that a lot, and I've really, I have to say that I've been very fortunate. I tend to get the parts that I absolutely had to have, like I really wanted Krillin, and I really wanted Usopp, and I really wanted Maze Hughes, and Lupin the Third, yeah, I definitely had to have that one. So, there's not any parts that I went, oh man, I wish I could have got that part, There are parts that I see, I think, oh, I could do a good job with that, because I know what my range is, but generally, there's not any disappointment about parts I haven't gotten.
In the back.
Out of all the characters you've done voices for,
Most actors will tell you that the work they're doing now is their favorite, which is true because you're investing so much in it right now. But that being said, I have some top favorites, Hughes and Krillin, definitely. Krillin would have to be my absolute favorite because Krillin was there from the beginning. And who knew, back then, 12 years ago, almost 13 years ago now, who knew that I would still be doing Krillin today? That is the show that will not die.
Even though
I can't wait till the next incarnation when I'm like 57 years old. It's Dragon Ball Z, something else. Hey, Kamehameha. That's about the best I'll be able to do by then.
all the way in the back.
Could I do a line from Mace Hughes? My favorite line from Mace Hughes and any anime I've ever done is this line. Don't fall on Daddy! Yeah. Isn't he cute? Yes. Yeah, Davy Crockett there.
Ever since the switch from Dragon Ball Z to Cartoon Network, it's a switch over to Nicktoons, and they remade a lot of the stuff. They fun with
We actually, with Dragon Ball Z Kai, we redid the whole series. The Japanese have re-edited the series, so it's a lot faster and punchier and everything. But also, if you're watching it on Nicktoons, it's cool, but you're looking at a Y7 edited version. It's for little kids. So I recommend that if you really want to see the real intention of the show, get the DVDs and watch the unedited version. Because we did two versions. We recorded the unedited and the edited for television. And Nicktoons, they're much stricter than Cartoon Network. So we actually have a guy whose job is at Funimation to listen to the edits from Nicktoons. There's a lot of edits. And I get called in a lot to redo lines because we thought they were okay. And no, you can't say that. Some of them just like punk and stuff like that, you can say. It's weird. Or maybe punk was okay, but some of those just obscure lines. And some of the ways they had to edit, there's a scene where Gohan sees all the slaughtered Namekians on the ground, and the line is, "Oh my God, they killed them all!" Right? Well, you can't say that on Y7, because children don't know people die. So they changed the line to, "Oh my God, they made him go to sleep." What? It's like just a bunch of sleepy people running around. And I thought about it, and I thought, well, that's actually pretty good for a 7-year-old, because the scariest thing when you're 7 is it's nap time. So for the kids, like, oh no, they had to take a nap. See, I'm in my mid-40s. Naps sound really good, so like right now would be a good time to nap. Yes? What made me want to do them? My favorite voice actor is a guy named Mel Blanc. Do you know who that is?
Man of 1,000 voices.
Yeah. Yes, the man of 1,000 voices. Mel Blanc is the guy responsible for the voice of Bugs Bunny, Porky the Pig, Daffy Duck, all those Warner Brothers characters that we grew up on. I grew up on. You didn't grow up on that. You grew up on anime. You guys remember when I was Toonami Tom and you were just little kids.
Yes.
Right. But I love those wacky voices that he came up with. So I tend to gravitate to the characters that have the wackiest voices. You're asking my favorite voice was also earlier. If you guys seen Kodacha? Yeah. I play Zenjiro in that. We're talking about teeth. Yes, it's one of my favorite parts because he's just so silly. So the sillier the better. And Mace Hughes, he has his very deadly, serious moments, but most of the time he's like, oh my gosh, So yeah, any part I really love that's probably the reason. I like Kenichi. Have you guys seen Kenichi yet?
Heard of it.
You should check out Kenichi. It's a pretty good show. I thought it was just like stupid fighting, show like Grappler Baki or some crap, but it's not. It's really good, and I play Apachai on that.
All the way in the back.
Apachai. Appa.
As far as all the voiceovers that you've done, I know that some companies have higher standards as far as what's allowed and what's not. What would you say are some of the basically the most ridiculous lines that you've had to change. Like the one earlier, oh my God, they put them all to sleep.
Right. Well, yeah, you can't say dead, death, anything like that. You can show people getting beat the crap out of them, but you can't. No death, no sex, you know. Yeah, I know, all no sex. We're gonna have to airbrush a bikini on that girl. That happens a lot too.
Yeah, I've seen, especially with some of the guys on Dragon Ball Z, where they'll paint shorts on them, and it's so obvious that it's painted.
Sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. And it stuck out like a sore thumb before that too. Yeah.
Why is there so much of a competition now in the industry for voiceover roles?
Why is there so much competition?
Well, now is it
Because now it really caught on, you know. I mean, anime started gaining some speed with Pokemon and stuff like that, but when Dragon Ball Z came out, we made that show the highest rated show in animation history.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you, Akira Toriyama, for that.
Yeah.
And it's just something that really resonated with the general population. And when something makes that kind of attention and that kind of money, that more people start producing it. So now there's a lot more to do with it, but also word gets out, you know, and so actors are like, oh wait, I can get money doing this kind of work. And really, if you see any of us voice actors who are still left after 12 years, that's because you're really looking at the best of the crop, because otherwise you're not going to make it. We've lost a lot of people who just, you know, couldn't compete with the new people coming in, because now it's fierce. I mean, we have hundreds of people that we call in on a regular basis to come in and audition. So, yeah.
okay. Do you truly, honestly think Roy Mustang is dead sexy in a miniskirt?
I thought that Roy Mustang was dead sexy in a miniskirt. Travis looks pretty good. I saw him once take his shirt off and swim in a pond. Looked like a big old bear. Travis is a great guy to get drunk with. It's an adventure. And we got drunk with him and Chris Sabat and Colleen Klinkenbeard. That was a night to remember. Yeah. No, I can't tell you anything about it. Lives were hurt.
It's the friend of Haruhi's father, Misuzu.
Oh, yeah, it's a different one. I don't know. Like I said, I can barely remember the lines. I have to watch it again and go, oh, I like that line. Because like I said, it really didn't take me but, you know, a week tops to do all the lines from that show. So I can't remember. If you guys remember, I'd be happy to say it, but yeah.
I was wondering, since you did a little voice clip for Fullmetal Alchemist, if you can do a Krillin clip, like say lines from Dragon Ball Z.
How about I say a Maze Hughes line as Krillin?
I tell you, Roy, ever since she got pregnant, I mean, I can't keep her hands off me. And Android 18, oh my God, she is such a wonderful blow-up doll.
Krillin own count just went down.
What is some memorable experience you've had being in the industry, going to all the conventions and everything?
The most memorable one, I was at a convention in Florida, and I've told this story 100 times, but I was walking by the swimming pool, and this lovely young lady in the water said, "Hey, Mace Hughes!" And I turned over and went, "Hi," you know, and she flashed me. And I was like, "Hi. How are y'all doing?" And there was a friend of hers was in the water next to her. It's this guy, and he was like this. And I said, "You've never seen this side of her before, have you?" And he goes. I said, "You owe me." "Someday, and that time may never come. I'm gonna ask you for a favor." But yeah.
You doing voiceovers for all the projects? Do you ever get free swag?
Yeah. I get a lot of DVDs and stuff like that, and a lot of times I get a lot of toys at conventions. Like I saw a really cool Bardock statue. I did Bardock too, and it was about this tall, and it was like a $100 statue. And I went, oh, what kind of discount do I get since I did the voice for him? He goes, $20. It's a good deal. All right. So now I got this badass Bardock statue sitting up in my studio. Oh, that cute little girl with a hat.
That's it.
In the voice of Mate's Hughes, can you say I'm sorry, Alicia, I'm sorry?
That's
I'm sorry, Alicia. I'm sorry. I'm dead. I came back from the grave just to tell you I'm sorry I died. Oh, no, don't run from Daddy. Ignore the flies and the rot. I still love you. Come back. I need some pictures. I imagine it goes something like that. At one convention I said, Daddy's not dead. He's haunting you.
over there.
In Hughes' voice as he's dying, could you say the iconic Rosebud?
Oh, Alicia, Gracia, Rosebud.
One more question, and then it's almost time to go.
Okay.
What was your favorite line from playing Zenshiro from Kidosha?
Shut up! Pay attention to me! Okay, guys, we have time. If you guys want to come up here and get a CD, please come up now. If you have something you want me to sign really quick, I may try to do that too. But we have 5 minutes to do that, so please, thank you so much for coming out. And get with Kimmy. She'll be at a table right over here all weekend if you want to sign up. Love you!